was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass, these locusts. And this part of the scripture tells us here, okay, by the way, that's my footage I filmed. It was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, only the men which have not God's seal in them. And this other scripture teaches us here on the other side of the page, and I'll show you now. There. He opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And these locust things came out there with the face of a man on it, spat out fire, brimstone and smoke. I believe that's where the aeroplanes are being made. And that's interesting as well, that the scripture there says the key of the bottomless pit. And wherever this angel was. Now, the thing is, he was given the keys of the kingdom. Knowledge of the kingdom was Peter, the apostle. And he was given revelation from God. And the key to the bottomless pit, which is, I'll just have a look and see what that would look a bit like. The smoke of the pit coming out. And here's a film of a smoky pit type thing here. Look at this. Now, I filmed that a while ago.
Oh, look at that went up. Did you see that,
And the smoke produces, I believe, from the smelting of the iron and the steel. And we get, of course, the with the smoke coming, we get aeroplanes, and we get them built from such things. So this part of the Bible I'm covering now to do with, again, the end of the world, to do with the last wars on the earth. And it talks about 129 million, I've talked about earlier, died already in the last 100 years in wars. If you include the First World War and the Second World War and all the other wars, the Indochina War and that, 129 million dead. And it says in verse 16, of course, here, in verse 15 and 16, you get focus on it. The number of those dead, 200 million. That's a lot. It says 71 million not yet dead. Now, if this North Korean man gets to have his way, and ooh, look at that, 666. If this North Korean man gets to have his way, right, he will basically cause a huge amount of death of his people, which is terrible. What a horrible thing. All my understanding of the Bible is wrong. Well, let's just hope that 71 million are not going to die over the next 47 years, if that's the Lord tarries, if the world lasts that long. Because we've already been 103 years since bombs were starting to be dropped on the earth. I covered that before, didn't I? Saying there, see? That he was bound in Euphrates, and the 4 angels were loosed, and it says he prepared for an hour, a day, and a month, and a year, which is, I said, 376 days, and the day is taken for a year, as we looked at in the other video, covering the same subject. And the day, the month, and the year. Now, the thing is, that's 376 years. If you go back, takes us to Oliver Cromwell, and when warfare was first established on the earth with cannon, in an organised state war, you know. And there were skirmishes before that, a lot of skirmishes, a lot of wars, but cannon was never so organised until then. And of course castles were no good after that. You just need multiple cannons to destroy all the castles, and they couldn't hide behind them anymore. So anyway, this particular locust it talks about, it went upon the face of the earth. It was a flying creature, because locusts fly, you see. And in verse 14, and it talks us about verse 15 there, see, it was prepared for a day and a month or a year. Now it doesn't say this particular one was a flying one, okay. The number of the horsemen, okay. It talks about those who died in the war, okay. In the days of the voice of the seventh angel, etc. By the way, it says in the next chapter that time would be no longer, so these are the last battles on earth, I believe it's talking about. So you need to buy a Bible if you haven't got one. Go to the metropolitantabernacle.org and you'll get a Bible there, free of no interest on it at all, okay. You can pick and choose your King James Bible in there. Anyway, the thing is I was looking at a couple of these videos just to finish off, and what was the next one? I'll look at there. Carry the okay, it's not this. It is an aeroplane there, right? Watch. Okay, I filmed that aeroplane a while ago, and we get this light knocked off so we can see what's happening here. Now, there's a video of this coming in. Let me have a look. Military transport planes and things. Okay. Now recruiting. Okay, then we've got this one here. Now this is a storm cloud showing a tornado, I think.
This is
filmed in Scotland.
tornado I filmed. Only begotten Son, and whosoever believeth on him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
Why am I showing tornadoes
God
for?
sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but the world through him might be saved.
So why am I showing this? Well, because Jesus said, "And the sea and the waves will roar," after the Jews repossessed Jerusalem, which they did in 1967 and 48. So what's so significant about that? Well, we're tying in global warming and all that with the sea and the waves roaring. Let me have a look at this footage here. It's a film of a storm I just filmed. Here it goes, recently.
It shall be, see, the four corners of the earth.
Now, who goes on the four corners of the earth? The four corners of the earth. The angels will be sent to the four winds, it also says, which shows the Bible is describing the four jet streams even then. Okay, so the Bible's accurate in every detail. Now this hail came down, and watch this hail now, it's nearly a marble incised. The next video I was going to have a look at, I think, was another tornado perhaps. I filmed. So look, see if I've got it lined up here. No, I haven't got it here this time. It's on the other video anyway. Right, let's have a look at this one. Now this video here is talking about...
If Hitler had got the atom bomb, he'd reigned a bit longer. With his jet-propelled engines, he could have blown the Americans up. And the Bible says that if those days weren't shortened, no flesh would be saved.
That creature we just looked at in the book of Revelation had a sting in its tail, right? And this one's got a sting in its tail, this Lancaster bomber. It had Gatling guns and big guns at the back of it, yeah. So look at this other one. So the footage was... Look at that. Now this is the destruction which we've got from Oliver Cromwell. He was able to do such destruction on the castles around England. And if Cromwell 476 years ago, if you add the days, 476 years, you're going to get the date from 1643 to 2019. You work it out, okay? And he perfected his army by about 1645. You work out the days, a day, a month, a year, and an hour. Look at it. And it adds up to 376 days. A day is always an hour, remember. An hour, I mean, day is always a year, I mean, prophetical. So it's 376 years. Add it up. So, that's why that destruction coming on the face of the earth. Now, this we could try and prevent. I don't want to see 71 million dead to make up those 200 million numbers we just read. And, something needs to be done. Okay, I'm not sure what the other video was I was going to look at now, but anyway, that's enough. Here we go. Switch it off.